Hi, welcome to Inside Delaware. I'm Donna Cavender, and we are here at the Delaware Aerospace Education Foundation building. Where is that? That's in Smyrna, and you have probably seen it numerous times going up and down Route 1. Yes, it's that place. It's right on Big Oak Road, and it is a wonderful complex with educational tools and programs for everybody, and we're going to tell you more about that. We're right here in front of this beautiful fountain, the sculpture with the 5 children on top, and that was created by the famous sculptor Charles Parks. He did get ill and was not able to finish it, but his protege finished that for him, and it's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful fountain, a great place to just come and sit and contemplate. It's a beautiful complex. Let's go take a look at it. Stephanie Wright, we're here in the observatory, which you just told me is called Mount Joy.
Right.
And explain to me where that came from.
Well, we had a very dear friend from NASA, and she passed away, and she was a dear, and so knowing that we have Mount Cuba up north, we decided what a great name to name this the Mount Joy Observatory.
And tell us again exactly where we are.
We're in Smyrna, Delaware, and we're in Big Oak Park at a beautiful 40-acre site of an 89-acre site, and we lease it from Kent County, and we work together with them.
All right, and it's called the Delaware Aerospace Education Foundation.
Right, DASEF. That's our short name, kind of like ILC Dover, IBM.
Okay.
We're going with DASEF.
DASEF.
Yes.
Okay, great. And I have been traveling on Route 1 for years, and I go over and look, that looks like an observatory, but I didn't really know that much about it. So that's why we wanted to come and let people know exactly what goes on here. So what goes on here?
Well, basically, this is one piece of many things that we do. This is our 26th year. And as I said, this is an observatory. We have monthly programs here on astronomy for families and children. Schools might come at night and do things in here. So this is what we call the observatory. The outpost is attached to this, and the outpost has some classrooms and things. We have field trips that come, and we cover everything from skeletons and minerals and rocks and space and dinosaurs, and have various standards-based lessons that we do, and the schools come for field trips from Delaware, Maryland, and from around. So we do 2-hour experiences with field trips here as well.
And when I was coming in, I saw that the road, the street, is called Dinosaur Way.
That is correct.
So explain to me how dinosaurs and telescopes come together.
Well, you focus on everything from dinosaurs to space and back, and basically when you think about how the dinosaurs became extinct, it's a possibility that they were hit with a meteor. And so dinosaurs, to me, are part of the Earth and its structure, and we study Earth systems here. And everything else basically fits in systematically. So we are very comfortable with doing STEM as the basis and making sure it's standards-based and using new science standards. And we work with teachers and educators, and we work with the general public and schools and any youth organizations, as today we are working with the 4-H and having a STEM event.
I know, there are 4-H'ers all over the place.
They're having a blast.
And some of the things that they're doing, they're building rockets.
Exactly, exactly. And they're doing some things with mystery soil, where they're trying to look at what type of biohazardous materials may be in the soil, and how we can, as citizens of this fine state and further out, figure out how we can do less pollution, less harming the environment, protecting the fragile earth. And then in the back, what we're doing is another activity, which the 4-H said that they would like to have. We actually have a lunar sample here, a disc, which many of my staff is certified to use, and it's got actual pieces of the moon on it. And we have Earth samples, which we are comparing and talking about how are they related, are they similar, could the moon have spun off from the Earth? Many believe that. It's not absolutely positively so. And should we return to the moon? And from there, should we return to Mars? And I think a lot of times people forget that looking out at space is really, really incredible, but looking back from space through the eyes of the satellites that NASA has set up, through communications, looking at solar flares, looking at all kinds of different things, coral reefs, the burning of places around. These are other ways that NASA gives us a lot of what we do in our everyday life.
Okay. And all these activities are activities that any educational group can come in and take part in?
Absolutely. Field trips, we have 2-hour field trips for schools, and they come all year. We have Saturday explorations. We have family days, big family days where we set up the site, and one is on dinosaurs to space.
Oh, the kids love dinosaurs.
They absolutely do. And we have big dinosaurs, and then we have another one on planet Earth. And that one focuses on, you know, again, taking care of the water, making sure that our needs are met, and just preserving the fragile Earth. So we have quite a group, and we do a lot of outreach. We have star labs, we have a digital star lab, we have, you know, inflatable endangered species, which are priceless.
Okay.
They're life-size, authentic.
Wow.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Okay.
And they're all named. Ones that are endangered, it might be an elephant, it might be you know, Perry the panda. We just got a new Piper the whatever, and we go to a school and we imagine them all inflated, and then the young people and/or the middle school, they go around and they have opportunities to see what they look like, get lessons and things that support helping the endangered species.
So the groups can come here and learn, and you also go to the schools and the different groups.
We do that, and we work with churches, and Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts have done their badges here. We have beautiful projects that have been done. Civil Air Patrol, ROTC, you name it.
The age group is from?
Preschool through, what do you call them, the older folks.
Seasoned citizens?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, that sounds
really
good.
Yes,
okay, now how often can the public just come and take a look through the telescope? Is that something that can happen?
It is. Right now, everything is by appointment, you know, because it's not a huge facility right now. But basically, people sign up online, and then they can come in. It isn't open on a daily basis. It's open a lot of the time, but it's not something where people can just come in and see. But when we expand, which we are doing after 26 years into the bigger building, then that will be open.
And we're going to take a look at the bigger building a little bit later. Okay, that's great. Okay, that's great. Now remind folks how they can get in contact with you if they'd like to make an appointment for their group or their family or whatever they'd like to do. Remind everybody how they can get in touch with you.
I suggest that you go to our website, www.dasef.org. And you'll find just about everything you need in community programs, family programs, educator programs, our Delaware Aerospace Academy. You can find everything you need right there.
Now, your staff that you have here, is everyone volunteer?
No.
No.
Some are not.
Okay.
They're all seasoned educators who have been teaching or retired from teaching. Very few volunteers, but that's not true. There's quite a few volunteers.
Okay.
But there's teachers that are here that are the core, and then the volunteers come in and might assist. But overall, when we teach during the school year, they're all teachers. And we like that because we want the teachers who are coming, they have to be able to justify to their administrators that, you know, they're getting standards-based, that it's the new STEM, that it's the next generation science standards and the Common Core standards, and we try to tie all that together.
Now, is there a cost when these groups come?
There is. For the field trips, it's $4 a child. We're very reasonable.
Very reasonable.
And it's a 2-hour experience. For our Saturday explorations, it's $6. Our academies run for a week, so those are $275 from 9 to 4 each day. And then we have overnight academies as well.
Oh my, yes.
And half-day academies.
Wow.
And they've been running for, I guess, like 26 years, and we've had over 6,000 cadets come
Now,
through.
do they stay on site when they stay over?
Well, we run a lot of those at the University of Delaware.
Oh, I see.
And once our building is completed, then everything will be here. It's an overnight facility, as you'll see when it's completed.
Okay, great.
So the other things, like when we have our family day, that's $5 per person, and that helps us to raise some funds to offset stuff. So we have quite a few different ways, but we keep the prices low. And when we go to schools, we do that as well. Schools don't have the funds that they used to have, and so we want to provide quality, exceptional, standards-based experiences that will help children to gain an appreciation of the Earth and its place in the universe. It's really important.
That's great. So it's wonderful that it's very, very reasonable so that the kids can come and check it out. Are we going to be able to check out the telescope?
Absolutely.
All right, great.
I'll have to get the other gentleman to do that with you, but yes, we can do that.
Now, you talked about NASA. What's
Right.
the connection with NASA, and how much are they involved in this operation?
There used to be more. That I was one of the two teacher in space back in 1986, and I have kept close contact with a number of folks from NASA. Some of them have retired, but overall, we work with Goddard Space Flight Center to a degree.
Okay.
The Space Telescope people from Maryland will come in and do workshops with us and for us. We are a designated NASA Resource Center. We're also, that's the ERC unit, the Educational Resource Center unit. And we just try to do workshops. We've worked a little bit with Wallops. So that's the key connection. And I think if I could share this too, NASA has over 50,000 or more spin-offs, things that they've created for the United States Space Program, whether it's looking out into space or back at the Earth. And each of these are public domain. So the general public, small business, big business can go and look at those, and for free. They can take that idea and catapult it into something that might be even more beneficial.
Okay.
I mean, everything from Velcro to the way your curtains are
Right,
backed.
yes.
I could name and just stand here for hours and tell you the wonderful things that have been spin-offs.
And I know that when the NASA program was very much more in the public eye,
Right.
that people would say, why are we spending so much money to send people to space? But they didn't stop to think of all the things that they use on a regular basis that were created or developed because of the space
Exactly.
exploration.
And the research as well.
Right,
And
yes.
I think, too, a lot of people felt like, when the shuttle program was over, that's it. Of course it wasn't it.
Right,
It's
right.
called looking back. It's called, we are in communication because of the satellites that NASA and other
Sure,
commercial
sure.
folks have sent up, and the whole bit.
Oh, that's great.
Enjoy
That's
it.
wonderful.
It
And
means
it's
a
a
better job.
pleasure to talk to you.
And you
And
as well.
I can't wait to see more of the things that you've got here.
Okay,
So
great.
let's go take a look.
Sounds great.
We're here with Brian Wright, and he's setting us up here so that we can see something through the telescope. Brian, how big is this telescope, and how do you, what kind of power does it have?
Yeah, the power of a telescope is in the lenses. We have a very large light gathering one up front and a small eyepiece here that you can change. And depending on the eyepiece that we put in there, we can go from anything from 100 power to 400 power. Something depending on the atmospheric scene, whether it's a good evening or not.
And what do we have here today?
It's a low-powered one. It's about 150 power. So looking at the sun, you don't need anything more than that. It's a pretty big object, in sunspots.
Okay.
But right now, we're going to be looking at something on the land here because
Okay.
it's clouded over. So this is a filter that allows us to look at the sun without damaging the optics or our eyes.
Oh,
And you
okay.
can see that you can't see through it. It's like a welder's mask.
Oh,
So
okay.
it prevents any sunlight coming through.
So if we were looking at the sun, we'd have to leave that filter
Okay,
on.
exactly.
Okay. So do you have a nickname for the telescope? I mean, is it George or Bernie or?
I haven't done that yet.
No,
But
okay.
very often I'll put this in the eyepiece. What I'm doing right now
Okay.
for kids because it might be cloudy or rainy or something like that.
Right.
And then I'll ask them what they're looking at.
Uh-huh.
So they'll come around here. They'll look like this and they'll go.
Oh, okay, I see. They think they're looking this
way. Right.
Okay.
They're looking this way. So anyways, they're not. Now, the telescope has a clock drive. The Earth turns, so if we were looking at a stationary object, you got to keep moving it like the stars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it turns. It has a GPS, so if I tell it to look at something in the night sky, it'll do that.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, you want to get up there and look?
So I can, through here?
Yep. See, what do you see? You see something?
I see what looks like a dish with a lightning
Yeah. And then you can look
mark
at it.
on it.
This is what I do with the young people that I ask them to go out and tell me what they're seeing. So if you look out there.
Is it on the top of that tower? Oh, wow. Now, how far away is that?
You couldn't tell you. Do you know quarter mile? Half quarter
How
to
about
half?
that?
Yeah. It's out by the.
All right. Now, you probably have trouble with the ambient light, even at nighttime.
Yes. Smyrna, every town, including Smyrna and the prison, put a lot of sky globe up. So to the north, you probably can't see any stars at all. So facing this way is our better view. So even then, you're going to get Dover.
Now, when you have a nice clear night and you're looking through, what do you get when you're looking in this direction?
Well, we can see any of the planets. And you can see the polar ice caps on Mars, you can see the bands of Jupiter, you can see the rings of Saturn, all those things. It's really neat. And then there's some nebulae, that's gaseous areas that are either stars that have exploded or stars that are coalescing into stars, or matter that's coalescing into stars. So either way, they're coming or going. It's a beautiful sight, these nebulae.
Now, do you get to see the Milky Way?
Well, Milky Way is more of a naked eye observation.
Okay.
So you get out there, you can see this band of light.
Right.
You can't see it from Smyrna. It's a band, big band going across the sky. This is made to look at small objects, real small things.
Okay.
So we could see the Andromeda Galaxy.
Andromeda.
That's the closest galaxy to us.
Okay.
So,
it's all so fascinating, and it just boggles my mind. I would love to be able to come back sometime and see the planets.
Yeah. Our sun is the center of our solar system, and it is revolving around the center of the galaxy, the Milky Way galaxy. It's one of maybe billion stars in the galaxy, and it's about 25,000 light years from the center of the galaxy. So this galaxy is also moving through space, and the Andromeda Galaxy is over here, and they're coming together, and maybe a few million years they'll interact and coalesce into a larger galaxy.
Well, you think we'll be around for that?
I'm not bothered by it.
I don't think so. Well, Brian, thank you so much for showing us the telescope.
Yeah,
and I really think you need to name it.
I think that's great. I never thought of it before.
Okay.
So thank you.
All right. Well, we're here in the iTech building. Stephanie has brought us here, and this is a work in progress, isn't it, Stephanie?
Yes, it is a work of art in progress.
And iTech, what does that mean?
Innovation Technology Exploration Center.
Okay, and what's going to happen in this center once you get it finished?
Well, this building represents what we've been doing for 26 years. It's an expansion from the outpost, from our academies, from our explorations, and basically we're going to focus on Earth systems and STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. We're going to focus on how the Earth comes together, how the systems fit, how people impact the Earth, how technology impacts the Earth, and how all of them need to work together to integrate to move forward into the 21st century.
And this is where the dinosaurs come into play, isn't it?
Yes, there'll be some dinosaurs in here as well as at the outpost.
Right.
We're hoping, we have a big T-Rex, we're hoping that he can be up there somewhere so that as people enter the front door, they'll see him.
A full T-Rex?
He's a juvenile.
But the whole thing?
Oh yeah, and it's very realistic.
Wow, and where did you find that? Where did you get that?
I find them online, and we get grants to be able to support what it is. He was pricey, but very well worth it, and we bring him out once a year. He's a beauty.
Now, you started this building in 2010.
A little sooner. We've been working on fundraising now for probably, and just moving along since at least 2003 or 4.
Okay.
It's just, like I said, it's a work in progress.
And the reason why it's not done yet is because you like to take things as it comes and not to go into debt.
Exactly. So that's our biggest thing. Our board, who's supported us, many of them for over 20 years, we agree that sometimes you can take out loans and then you're focusing on paying back the loan, and you're not focusing as much on the programs and the families and the outreach and the things that you can do to bring an exceptional experience.
So you fundraise as you go.
We sure do.
And you also get grants. Now, fundraising, that means going out to the public. How do you do that?
It does. Capital, we do it through our people that have been to the programs. We do it through Friends of Friends. We do it through businesses that have supported us for years.
So you solicit the donations.
Big foundations and things of that nature. So and individuals contribute as well. And of course, the federal government and NASA in the beginning was quite helpful, and the big foundations in Delaware. So we move as we have the funds, and I really think that's a key, and that's something we try to teach young people that come through our programs and academies. Not being in debt is not something that is always the most responsible way to move forward, because later it can come back to just cause problems.
Oh, sure. So now you pay as you go.
That's exactly
And so you can just concentrate on what's going to go in here.
Exactly.
And you call that the outpost over there where the telescope is, and that sort of thing. And we didn't talk about some of the, you have trails all throughout the area. This is a 90-acre complex here.
We have 39 of it, and the park, of course, Kent County has their trail and their beautiful stuff and their fields, and we split off in their playground. And we have a beautiful nature walk. We've actually put in some wetlands here. We have a beautiful walkway that goes out over the wetlands, and beautiful birds and different kinds of tree frogs and eagle. It's just...
So it's a wonderful place just to come.
It surely is. It's a continuum, if you will. In today's society, children are on the computer, families are on the computer, and you can go anywhere and see the connections, and that's what we're about, connections, and showing them that this is a magnificent world and that it also looks back at the earth and out into space.
Right. Now this is a 3-story building?
Yes, it is.
And it's going to have within it lots of different rooms and rooms for programs, educational, and displays like the dinosaurs. And also you talked about a geothermal, and there's solar panels on the top?
Right. So this is actually a 40,000 square foot building.
Okay.
There will be approximately 13 to 16 classrooms. So when a school or a group arrives, they'll go directly to the classroom, put their things down, then they'll go over to our orientation area.
Okay,
and
we can see that.
The youth group leader or the teacher or the whatever has asked for, we'll give them an orientation, and then we will begin some activities. Now this area here is going to be a very fluid exhibit area. It's about 5,000 square feet. Back in that area there will be the, I guess, mineral displays and a little bit on the Earth and the planets, and it will be integrated. And again, some of the exhibits will be interchangeable so that we can change out and we're not stationary with the same things.
And I see that right now it's kind of, not only is it a building in progress, but it's also kind of a storage building
too, isn't it? It surely is. We have quite a few exhibits. We have big toys for kids. We have a water exhibit. We have a dinosaur exhibit. We have all kinds of endangered species that are inflatables that are quite lovely.
Now, did you say something about a dormitory up on the third floor?
Oh yes, there really is. And there's classroom space back there. This one over here, where you see this is water. That's going to be a water exhibit. That will focus on a lot of coordination with, locks and canals and just the beauty of it as well. I don't know if you were aware of this, but Swarovski, I think that's how you say it, they have a huge international project that focuses on water and bringing it to people in different nations who cannot get to the water easily. So I'm hoping that at some point we can work with them. We have exhibits that are artwork. Imagine this with artwork, exhibits, plants, music, all interconnected and all doing something very special.
It's just a huge educational
It surely
undertaking.
is. It's a little different. And like I said, these are classrooms back here. What we want to do with the next package that we're hoping to get funding for is we have this lower half, and we've gotten permission from Kent County when it's been approved and everything and we get it done, that we can open up on a temporary basis. So there'll be walls up. This is a whole long display area with lots of beautiful displays similar to the one at the outpost. And then there'll be a bathroom over here. So the kids will be able to come in there and egress, and so we'll be able to open and at least have a beginning. So that's where we're going. Elevator, office space.
You've got it all covered, don't you?
I see it. It's just...
It's your vision.
Oh, it's not just mine. It belongs to the board. It belongs to the staff, our advisory board, all of the teachers that know it. They see it. They understand.
So it's a vision, and it's coming together.
It surely is.
All right, great.
It is.
So Stephanie, now we're up on the second floor, and we're looking over at this corner. Now, what's going to go on over there?
Now, that will be the air exhibit to show the principles of flight, aerodynamics of a race car. And if you can imagine, that wall is going to be a beautiful blue sky. And then we'll have a mock-up, a very small mock-up, actually, of the Wright brothers plane where you lay on your stomach and you can do the first flight. You'll see how butterflies fly, how birds fly. That will all be interconnected because it is.
And so there's lots more classrooms up here as well.
Yes, more classroom space and a aerospace center, not just an aerospace, I should say a teacher resource center.
Okay.
And they'll come here for workshops and things, and that's that space there, and then more classrooms.
All right. And this area right here, this large area that is marked out as a big circle, you said that's going to be walled in with like lucite,
Right.
and the kids will come in and do construction projects.
It's going to be called a construction zone, and that's part of the STEM, the engineering, learning how to interact, to bring the technology, the science, the math together. And so they'll have opportunities to work in here, so people down in the lobby will be able to see them working.
How about that?
And they'll be able to see people working. We're hoping to have it a double-decker, but that's you know, that piece of the
that's
design
yet
is
to
in
come.
play. Yeah, that's exactly
All right. Okay, let's move up some more.
Okay, sounds good.
And now we're up in what you call the dormitory area.
Yes.
And I love the windows. They're kind of like portholes, aren't they?
They are, absolutely. Could be futuristic, could be underwater, out up in the universe, just anywhere, but just futuristic to give people a different feel.
I can see Captain Jean-Luc Picard standing
Perhaps.
there looking out one of the portholes right now.
Or you could be underwater looking
Underwater,
out the porthole.
Jacques Cousteau,
There you
right?
go, there you have it.
Okay. So lots of bunk areas, and this would be co-ed. There would be a section for
for
boys
kids and for adults. We
Okay.
plan to have professional development, and groups can come in and we can do all kinds of things with businesses. Just
Right.
a team building effort.
Right,
kind
and
of
certainly the size of it, it looks like you can accommodate
Up to
fairly
about
large
120.
groups. Wow, that's awesome.
Oh, he's
Okay, up here on the roof, wow, look at the view, it's gorgeous. Now you said this is going to be seeded with grass?
with sedum, it's called. It's
Sedum,
like a
okay.
succulent that'll be year round.
Okay.
And it'll just be quite lovely, and it will help to insulate the ceiling, so that in addition to the geothermal and the solar panels and everything else that we're doing, it will really help us to conserve energy.
Okay, that's wonderful. And then as you can see over there, that's what you call the outpost.
That's correct, and the
and
observatory.
That's where the
Yeah.
observatory is, and a lot of the educational activities go on over there as well.
You can see the nature walk, and that's a beautiful soccer fields over there, and the playground is Kent County.
Okay.
And then beyond is the baseball fields, and we have this piece, and this is where the 80 wells are underneath. It took us probably 8 or 9 months to dig down, and now it's grown with grass again, and that's where they are in the
And
earth.
those wells are part of the geothermal
That's exactly
program.
right, and
okay.
they will pump up the same degree of water, so that it will help us to, keep everything constant here and not have to pay as much. So that over there is our marsh walkway. You can see a little piece of it in the wetlands that we reconstructed. And the park has done a magnificent job with their pieces. They have a beautiful nature walk that way, and you can see ours moving. And what's kind of cool about the nature walk is we have a scaled planetary walk, which starts back at the outpost and goes to the garage, and it's the distance, and each of the planets is scaled according to that distance, the way they would be out in the solar system.
I see.
And
okay.
some of those signs are nature, and then some of the signs are a Boy Scout project, which just explains the planets in more depth.
How about
And
that?
then we have probably only the second sun pole in the country. We had that done by a Boy Scout. So we have a lot of touches here, and we're going to have a beautiful galaxy garden. So if anybody would like to look that up online, it's Galaxy. Just look up Galaxy Garden, and you'll see something that we'll have here very similar. It'll be the second in the world.
Okay.
First in Hawaii, second in
All
Delaware.
right. And there's the side of the USS Enterprise over there,
Exactly.
as they're looking out
and up
the
on the
porthole.
roof are the 144 solar panels. And
Solar
if you-
panels?
That's our garage. It's a 4-bay garage, and it is loaded with a number of
Jam-packed
different
with all
exhibits,
kinds of
beautiful
things.
and all solar lights, everything solar. And look at that.
All right,
gorgeous
and now we
garden.
come back to the
that's
statue
beautiful.
that we started out with. It's
Take a picture of
absolutely
this.
gorgeous.
And notice the children are 5 different nationalities to represent all the children of the earth, reaching for the stars and knowing that wisdom does in fact begin with wonder.
Wisdom begins with wonder.
Right, and designed by Charles Parks, and completed by his protege, Brad Vanneman at Parks Studio.
Well, it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for showing
It's
us
my
around
pleasure.
today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank
All
you
right.
so much. Thank you.
Wasn't that an absolutely gorgeous view? Just a look at the entire complex and what they have to offer right here at the Delaware Aerospace Education Foundation. If you haven't checked it out yet, you need to do that. Go to the website, check it out. You can sign up for programs. We had a great time finding out about a little bit of everything. My thanks to Stephanie Wright for showing us around. That's it for Inside Delaware this time. We'll see you next time.